Despite the overall crappiness of the PC market, let's have some fun. Today we're building 3 current generation gaming setups, and the budget is going to be dictated by the real-world purchasing power of 3 separate Marine Corps ranks: a private first class, a staff sergeant, and a captain. We'll do these 3 builds using our favorite PC building tool, PCPartPicker. Alright, so let's look at our private first class. Pay grade here is E-2, which sits at exactly $2,698 a month. Now, in the civilian world, $27 a month sounds completely modest, but for a 19-year-old Marine, that's all disposable income. Remember, these junior Marines live right on base on the barracks. That means they don't have to worry about cutting a check for rent. All their meals are covered at the chow hall, full medical, dental. Really, all they have to worry about is like a phone bill. If you translate that into civilian corporate salary, it's the equivalent of bringing in 55 grand a year, right out of high school. And you wonder why these guys run off base and buy a brand new Mustang F-150 with a 25% APR auto loan. That's exactly why. Fortunately, our hypothetical PFC has a little bit more financial discipline, and they aren't going crazy with the build. So let's jump into PCPartPicker and look at how we're engineering this entry-level powerhouse. All right, for the CPU, we want a Zen 5. So I think a 9600X sounds pretty good. So let's add that. CPU cooler. All right, so we're not gonna go AIO. Let's go air cooling here. And right away, we got this Thermalright Peerless Assassin for $35. I mean, pretty much one of the best budget air coolers on the market right now. Definitely get it. Motherboard, we'll go with the B650 motherboard here. All right, let's go with this. MSI Mag, B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. Got a lot of good reviews on 160. Let's do it. All right, memory. All right, so obviously this is a big point of contention. We're gonna go with 16 gigabytes of RAM to keep this manageable. We wanna get 2 separate 8 gigabyte sticks. Patriot Venom Viper, 16 gigabytes for $225. Let's add that. Memory, no, we just did that. Storage, we'll do, for our budget PC build, we'll do 1 terabyte. Yeah, let's go with the tried and true Samsung 990 Pro. 1 terabyte, add that. Video card, all right, so here's the big choice. What's gonna be our video card? I'm gonna go with the ARC B580. I think this is the best budget GPU on the market right now. I mean, you just can't beat the price. For the VRAM, you get 12 gigabytes. Yeah, I don't think anything else even comes close to the best price to performance you can get with this. All right, so let's go with the ASRock Challenger. Let's add that. And the case, something modest, something preferably with a lot of stock fans on it. All right, here we go. Lee & Lee Landcool 207, $78. All right, let's go with that. And the PSU, we don't need anything crazy. What, 500 watts, I would say? 650 watts? Let's go with 650 watts. Here we go, MSI Mag A650GL, 80 plus gold, 650 watts, boom. So yeah, I would say pretty capable budget setup right here. I would be happy getting this. And so the grand total is $1,267.48. Not bad, not bad at all. 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte on an AM5 platform for future upgradability. Yeah, okay, that's a good starting point. All right, next up is the Staff Sergeant E-6. 2026 basic pay table. Staff Sergeant hitting that realistic 6-year promotion is making $4,236 a month in basic pay. But because they live off base, they pocket 2 things, BAS and BAH. BAS is Basic Assistance for Subsistence, and that's $476.95 a month, tax-free. And BAH is Basic Allowance for Housing, that's dictated by where you live, the zip code, and all these other factors. So that translates into a civilian annual salary of $90,000 to $95,000. Not too shabby. All right, for the CPU, let's go with the king of gaming CPUs today, which is the 9850X3D. Yes. We're gonna go with the AIO. I personally love Lee & Lee, so let's go with the Lee & Lee HydroShift 2. Add that. Okay, motherboard. Here we can go. We'll do an X870 motherboard. Here we go. Let's go with this. Gigabyte X670 or Elite X3D motherboard. We'll go with that. Memory, we're gonna definitely go with 32 gigabytes of memory here. Yeah, let's go with the tried and true Corsair RGB 32 gigabytes. Add that. Storage, we'll definitely go 2 terabytes with the storage. Let's give some love to SK Hynix. Platinum P51, 2 terabyte. Do it. All right, so video card, here's a big Here's a big decision point. To spread out the love, let's go with the AMD build. And obviously we'll go with the RX 9070 XT. Best price to performance for mid-tier, upper tier card. Oh, here's what I plan to get for my own PC. ASRock Taichi RX 97 XT. All right, case. For case, let's go with Fractal Design XL. And then power supply, let's say 1000 watt. 1000 watts sounds about right. Here we go, Lean Lee Edge, boom. All right, so there we have our build, which is a grand total of $3,112.93. And I think it's a great build, you know, a 9850X3D, RX 97 XT, 32 gigabytes, 2 terabytes. Personally, these are the specs for my build, but we can go a little bit crazy with our next budget. Okay, Paygrade O-3, Captain, 2026 basic pay table, a Captain hitting that realistic 4-year mark is making $7,383 a month in basic pay. Now, when you add in BAS and BAH, a Captain's real-world take-home purchasing power matches a civilian making 145 grand a year. Needless to say, we can build an absolute apex monster of a PC. CPU, let's go with the 9950X3D2 Dual Edition. It's a little too pricey, but since we don't have that to worry about, to squeeze out every single frame rate we can, we're gonna go with the 9950X3D2 Dual Edition. Cooler, let's just go the Asus ROG Gen 4. Motherboard, we'll go with the X870E. I mean, we could go a little nuts here, but let's just go a little bit modest. Dark Hero. Memory, obviously, we can go pretty much balls to the wall here. 64 gigabytes. Definitely get the G-Skill Royal Neo 64 gigabytes of RAM. Storage, can bump it up to 4 terabytes. And yeah, here we'll go with the Samsung 9100 Pro. 4 terabytes. Video card, obviously we'll have to go with the Monster 5090 for this build. Let's give some love to PNY Epics. Let's add that. Case, we'll need a big beefy case. I say this is a big beefy case. Haven HS420. Let's add that. And PSU, we'll have to need something big and beefy. So 1200 watts, yeah, Asus. Let's go with that one. All right, so this build is a grand total of $8,954.95. Ooh, man, that is a beefy price, but this is a pretty beefy PC. 9950X3D2 Dual Edition with a 5090, 64 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, come on, you literally destroy everything that comes across. But the Staff Sergeant build accomplishes what, 95% of this build? So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Staff Sergeant build. All right, so there you have it. 3 completely distinct Marine Corps pay grades, 3 radically different budgets, and 3 absolute powerhouse current gen gaming machines. Drop a comment below and tell me which tier you're currently on. Hit that subscribe button, join the squadron, and maintain the heading.